Hello and good day. It's such a delight to connect with each one of you again today. This has been an amazing journey of women discovering things in their hearts, in their souls, in their minds and bodies that is buried deep in Mother Earth, very deep. And sometimes, all for a diamond to be uncovered, that diamond has to experience the ground a diamond is buried has to go extraordinary pressure over a long time for the diamond for it to be formed, and then extraction has to take place, brought to the surface, and then polished and shined, and then the corners cut for the reflection to be just right. We women are very much like a diamond. Heaven, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever name you have up there, has each one of us a sacred diamond. And the diamond is waiting to shine, waiting to be discovered. But before that, I want to introduce who I am. If I met, and if we've met before, my name is Isioma Iloba. I'm a certified the Dow Academy with the deep honor and privilege to bring ancient wisdom from the east to the west and from the west to the east and all across the world. And I have decided to devote my life to bringing empowerment to women folk all over the world, official and unofficial empowerment officer, chief empowerment officer, because I know what it is like to be a woman in today's era. We were created as diamonds. And you know what they say about diamonds being in the rough? As in, it's not quite yet refined, it's not quite crystallized in the way the light can pass through the diamond without the light being dissipated at the wrong angle. Light creating extraordinary beauty and radiance that everybody can appreciate, everybody knows the value. Very often we women have not yet been appreciated and our value has been underestimated. The value that we have depends on where we were born to, what kind of community we were born into, and sometimes even what professional career we have. There's so many things outside of us that determine our internal value. But is that really the right way? I would want to submit to you that the external circumstances are how we have walked this journey for the longest time, because that's how the masculine oriented communities we're a part of have decided our own value. That's how they chose their own value. And somewhere along the line, we decided to take on that level of measurement. But you may be discover that doesn't quite work for us. Whether it works for the men folk or not, because I'm not a guy, it doesn't work for female folk. Because women all over the world are discovering that even though they've achieved incredible satisfaction in their careers, in their marriages, or maybe not, they still feel very hollow and empty on the inside. They know something is wrong. They know something is not quite right. They keep looking. And for some, they marry 3 and 4 and 5 times. For some, they switch jobs 3 and 5 times. And they keep coming back to the same emptiness, day, decade after decade. And eventually, they throw up their hand and feel, oh, maybe I'm not lucky. Maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe I cannot. Maybe I'm not smart. And again, I would say, is that really the right conclusion? I would want this discussion in a different way. We women have not yet learned to identify your soul, your spiritual body, which was created at the same time that your physical body was created, and both of them into a being, into manifestation on Mother Earth at this time. We've forgotten the function and the role and the principle that the soul is the boss of our lives. Yes, you heard that correctly. I may not be a preacher. I don't belong to any specific religious affiliation, but I see goodness in all traditions that support love, peace, and harmony for humanity, and every tremendous positive teachings. But I do know that the soul is common across all traditions, and that is why we can feel resonance when a baby is crying across the ocean because they're hungry and they have not been fed, or the young child just lost both now an orphan at age 5, having to take care of 3 other siblings. Or you can feel the pain means facing war and famine and sexual abuse in so many ways, even abuse other ways, mental, emotional torture that occurs without justification. Because really, there's no justification for any kind. We feel resonance because our souls are connected with everybody else's soul, and we form a universal community that is connected on a deep primordial level. That connection is actually the key for us determining our own worth as women, as human beings. That part of us, we've thrown away the key to. We threw away that key when we got hurt, when we got cheated on, or our brothers abused us physically or in other ways, when our mothers come in the kitchen, do not play outside with the boys, by society, to be made to feel less than just because we are female. And that continues to happen all over the globe. It still happens here. Or we're made to feel less than because we have a different color. Our hair is a little bit different. Our nose is different. Our ears are different. I know when Barack Obama was elected to be president, people always made fun about his ears. It's neither here nor there. Does not deter him from executing as a president in those days. Whatever reason that you were, or maybe it's because you were poor, you didn't have the funds that you wished everybody had, or you couldn't go to school. All those things tie to your worth as a female, and it's every part of who we are. It's my Nigerian elders have a saying that if palm oil stains one finger, it ultimately stains all the other fingers because one finger is connected to all the others. So it is with our um, way of living. When we are hurt physically, it affects the mental and emotional. When we're hurt on mental and emotional, it affects our physical and our spirit. One person is affected, we are all affected because we are all one. The way that God, the infinite one, the ultimate creator, made one person is the same way that he created all people, all souls. My beloved teacher, Dr. and Master Zhigang Shah, who has taught me so much and given me so much wisdom, he said a very powerful sentence that I still remember and can never forget. He said, everyone, everything is led by the soul. The creator gave every one of us the blueprint that helps us to identify what we're meant to do on Mother Earth? Why were we all know we were created for a reason? But many of us stumble for decades trying to determine, what am I supposed to do? Truth be said, we really cannot identify what we're meant to do if we divorce that purpose from our feminine essence. These two go hand in hand. You cannot separate them and find your true identity. The masculine has its role, has her role. Both have their individual purposes, and our journey is different, priceless. The masculine is valuable, the female is also valuable. One cannot demonize the other, one cannot put down the other, even though society would make us do that. But it cannot be so. And our journey on Mother Earth is to rediscover our true identity, blueprint as females, as women, as ladies, as queens that we are. We have a calling that's been resonating in our bones, in our soul, heart, mind, and body. Sometimes you get into one career, you hit a roadblock, and you try to go into another one, and you hit another roadblock, and you try to do something else, and you hit a roadblock, because each one of those may not be the foundation upon which your work is going to stand and rise through the ashes. The divine, the sacred being of light that has created everyone and everything, has a specific order in creation. And certain things come before, just like Monday comes before Friday, just like the moon has to receive before the sun comes up, just like you have the bud, the flower, before the flower can bloom. So also we women cannot discover our true purpose of how we can serve if we first don't identify and establish very firmly our true, authentic feminine identity. This is a part that has been missing in many career discussions, in many HR discussions all over the globe. We separate the spiritual from the physical, but they actually belong together. Yes, we may not be able to bring the religious teachings, but why not in our understanding of life away from the boardroom? When we get home, we can bring this into our discussion and into our understanding of what exactly is going on Mother Earth, and in our role as women, meant to know, meant to bring our softness, our kindness, our compassion. Compassion is fundamental to this discovery. I have amazing connections with my heavens team, and I have some yeah, very powerful feminine figures that I truly adore and cherish. And when I am crying, when I am facing a frustration that I cannot wrap my head around, I call on Mother Mary and a few other high level saints that are feminine in our understanding at this time, and ask for their guidance, because they have lived these experiences just like we are now experiencing them. They know the struggle of women, they understand the struggle more than most other men folk on Mother Earth. So why not call on them? Who in your heavens team, who in your lineup of saints that you adore, who in your sacred holy beings that use their wisdom and their positive influence are feminine oriented and can support you, even if they're not? I know if you call on Jesus, he was led in his entire lifetime by the expression of love and compassion for humanity. He can provide answers for each and every one that is here listening to the webcast. For you, for me. Call on Jesus. Call on the Buddha. Call on Yahweh. Call on Mother Kuan Yin. Call on Mother Mary Magdalene, any saint, even I not. He is considered the mechanical saint who can fix cars, computers, and everything else in between. But I know he knows a few things about compassion because he also served with the greatest compassion when we call on him, when our cars are stranded on the road. Everybody and everything is called to serve. Your laptop is serving, just like my laptop is serving. The curtains are serving. The window is serving. The door is serving. Your bed is serving. The table upon which you eat is serving. The bread in the grocery store is serving. Everything, the trees are serving. The ground, the Mother Earth is serving. The sun is serving. The moon is serving. Everything and everyone is called to serve. But we are called to serve a specific purpose that is only aligned for blueprint to be fully expressed. And that will open up the door to our greatest compassion, to the love and compassion within. Compassion is an expression of divine, of the greatest love, the greatest light. And so, able to open that door in our hearts is the key to this discovery. When we reconnect with this greatest compassion and its full expression, this greatest compassion and greatest love is the master key, alchemy, that would allow our hearts to be fully expressed and for us to return to the woman that we were meant to be in the way that Almighty One designed it to be when He created each one of us. This is most important for every woman so that you can in turn nourish your family. Yes, and the income and all that. But if you don't provide a home where greatest quality can rest, your greatest quality can be expressed, your greatest quality feel anchored and be nourished, you may only be able to deliver a smaller portion of what it is you're supposed to be doing on Mother Earth. And that adds, that often written anywhere, is why there's sadness, why there's grief, why you may experience anger, frustration, why you may experience lack of satisfaction, why you may not have been able to have a baby, why you may not have been able to give birth to the career of your dreams, why you may not have been able to reconnect or connect with the person that you really and you want to maybe get married to or begin to date. There's so many blocks show up when our hearts are not fully expressed. So let us join hearts and souls together during my event coming up on the 28th of this month. It's going to be a circle of sisterhood, a circle of sharing sacred principles, practical tools and techniques to allow each one of us to open our hearts in a safe space where we can learn from each other. But I may be one or two steps ahead of you. And so I'm able to chaperone you through the process of pain and grief so that you can discover who you truly are, who you're truly meant to be, so that you can smile and say, yes, I'm finally there. January may have come and gone. This is already March. But that doesn't mean you cannot pick up the pieces and continue from here. Let me guide you. Let me nourish you. Let me help you reconnect with your heart and your greatest compassion for yourself and for everyone else around you, so that you can live your dream in the most authentic, powerful, aligned, and blessed way. Click on the read this. I have left you a love letter above this link. Go read this love letter. Open your heart when you read it and let go of the, yeah. In literature, we have something called the willing suspension of disbelief. You're pulled into the book because it's so real. When you go to watch a movie, you know it's fake. You're still pulled, and you can gain incredible wisdom from the book that you're reading and from the movie that you're watching. This event is going to be one of those. You will never forget the teachings, the sisterhood, the lessons, and the love that you will experience here. Let the love, greatest love, nourish you to open your heart again, to banish and melt away the pain that forced you to close your heart in the first place. Let your light shine. Let your heart blossom so that you can become the flower that heaven designed you to be. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And please share this with fellow women in your circle, girlfriends, nieces, mothers. You can even sit and watch the webcast together. Some girlfriends together and watch this webcast together. And wisdom. Thank you for this broadcast with your dear ones. That everybody can gather around and discover, I'm going to register. I look forward to serving you on the 28th. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And your children too, all teenage girls and those that are newly married and those that have been married for a long time. Everyone deserves this information, so no one needs to suffer silently anymore. Have a great rest of the day. And bye-bye. Wants to keep me singing and sharing. All right, I'm going to sing my love song for you. Heart and soul, I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together.